Yeah, welcome to the shop. Today we picked up something very special. To go back in time, it's 1998. And this is where we will be placing our time machine right now. All the computers are in the back, stacked on top of each other, but of course they would be in a server room and better in a server Schrank, which we picked up today. This thing is massive. It weighs a ton, I would say 100 kilos, something like that. Very, very sturdy stuff. It looks amazing. We're gonna fit doors now and see how it looks like. But it's our little telephone box. What do you think? Or time machine? Welcome back to the Lawo. Today is a great day. We are going to start to modify the system to our needs. Now that we figured that a lot of the stuff, if not all of it, is working, the next challenge is of course to change, for example, the amount of interfaces and where they appear. But before I do that, there's one condition that I want to check on, which is every time I start up this desk, it did not save my settings, but is doing a so-called cold start, meaning it is not loaded. It has 4 channels on the left with the default configuration, but otherwise every time it starts with an empty desk. Normally it's supposed to start where we left off. Now I checked the documents, and normally these desks are delivered in a status where they always start cold, which makes it easier to check things. And to be honest, for me it was a great help to always have it start with the same configuration, because if I mess something up, not knowing how this desk works, I would always start fresh when I restart the desk. Not anymore. So what I figured, responsible for the way the system starts is the PowerPC, which does the real-time calculations. It has a flash disk here that saves the data and reads it. When it starts cold, it's ignoring this flash disk and will wait for the computer in the desk to boot up so that it can read the default files from the hard drive of the computer in the disk. So my theory is that this, because also, here it says original, but I know computers have been swapped around, so it could be that this still has the default status on it, and I only know if I read the program on the PowerPC. Now thanks again to Lawo for sending me the technical documentation of the whole system. Now here, if I'm in the article on how to configure the PowerPC, let me scroll down. You have this point where it tells you about application flags, and in the application flag you can configure this system to, here it is, always boot with a cold start. And if I go to the earlier version of the PowerPC, there is an excerpt of a mail where it says, here are the parameters, and I guess this is how the systems were delivered, and that says with the 8 in front, always cold started. Now in order to read these flags, and that's how you can configure the PowerPC, because this computer, quite unique, it does not have a graphical interface itself, but you connect to it with a linear connection, lineare Schnittstelle. So I have a 9-pin cable connected to my other computer, my management server. And now we're going to do this together. Last time it did not work because I had the wrong cable. I need a null modem cable, a mirrored 9 pin. So I open my terminal. It's already on where I have the cable plugged in. Now it says if I restart it and press any key, there we go, hell yeah. Here we are. Now, let's check back what we have to do. It says pretty modify any of this or continue. But for that I wait until warm data, mount error. That's not what I expected. Well, that's a good clue. Force cold start. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go. So, not only did I get the flash disk to work, but I successfully managed to get into the application flag. And look at that. There is our 8 in the front. That's the cold start flag. I will replace it with this flag here. No 8 in the front. 950 33F. And then we should get this to start warm. This is so cool. This is so good. It took me a while to figure out how to change these parameters. But yeah, we're in here. We've seen the flag as I expected. Nice. Now let's change it. This is big. And literally, this is a huge thing. My new server Schrank, completely fitted with the mainframe, the real-time power PC, the management server up high, and then a little station here. I probably have this come down a bit later. Yes, I will install fans up there to make the heat transfer. And yeah, as you can see, I cabled most of it. This part is now looking much cleaner. Here is the communication to the surface. And yeah, I will fire it up. now and see how this runs, if everything's still alright. Now what I'm not happy with is the way I put this on wheels. I took a ready-made wheel board which accepts 300 kilos. I don't know if the wood above it does as well, and you can see it bending already. I will exchange this as soon as possible. Maybe just put it on flat ground. I don't know. The way it stands now, it's actually pretty accessible, so I might not have to move it around too much. I know for a later date I still want to exchange hard drives in that one, so I see how this goes later. But yeah, this is giving me some headaches, but it should work for now. I took some of the heavy panels off again just to feel better. But yeah, for now I will test it, see how it runs. The noise test will be later, obviously, when I have all the doors and stuff in, and then again when we have the fans. Now, I'm excited. I didn't even test the warm start function yet that I repaired on the PowerPC, because then I was building it already. You can see, not very assembled right now, but it will be soon. Yeah, stay tuned. Now while we're at it, let me show you the power up procedure of this system. And we do it live. Power is on. Now the big moment. See what happens. Hello. Nice. This was on emergency off. Switch that on. Runs. Quite noisy. It's noisier than before, maybe because the steel frame resonates, I don't know. So this is running. Next up, the management server probably needs the switch on the back, and now nice. Hello. Now this one boots. Still with the noisy HDD. We're gonna change that. Yes, and this one boots into Windows NT. Now, in the meantime, it's smart to put this on now. But I will, once these are permanently pressed, and then I'll start the system with this master power switch here. Now the switch is also booting. As you can see, it goes through a little sequence. Until we'll say, yes, active. Yes, and the sweater modules come on. Awesome. Now, the management server boots, connects, Yes. Let's see if it waits for anything else. Otherwise, I think it should clean these pieces. Like give them a reset. Yes. Let me put that away. Yes. Nice. Final step for us would be to start the board, and I'll show you that in a second. Yes. And this is where the management service starts. This will take a few seconds, so let me go to the control surface. Here we are. Now with a little bit of a fisheye to get the whole picture. This board is huge. And it has a power on switch here hidden. I don't know if I will use it in the future, but let me give you the sequence. Starts up, shoots all the faders at half length. And now we see a boot sequence here for the computer. And now for this display, I have a boot sequence as well. An independent one. So this thing should be an independent MS-DOS system. But that's all I know. Now, this computer starts. And as soon as this is online, we have the meter now. We should get this board to work, because right now, as you can see, it's kind of idle. There we are. It's starting, it's connecting. Here it is. Now we are not online yet. And I probably know why. Because this has a Ethernet connection where I don't have a nice cable. And that is properly set. Code is off. Oh, I'm in service mode on the real-time PC. Not anymore. Let me reboot it and see what happens now. Because that's the last thing we're missing. The real-time PC connecting. Also, this is not yet showing us the matrix. Oh, now it is. The server was logging and here we go. Working now. Good stuff. This is initializing now what we have. What we don't have, most of the interfaces are not connected. And I see with the management server that it is looking for DSP boards that are registered, but not in. Now let's go to the config, load a configuration. And here we are. Working board. Now this took us a few minutes. As far as I know, these systems were rarely turned off. But I could be wrong here. I don't know where I got this info from. But there's something I heard. That when installed, these just were running 24/7. Who knows? I'm not sure. I know when everything is configured and connected right, the start will probably take more like 2 to 3 minutes, right? I took some time now to show it to you, and I know, this was a complete cold start. When I start up the desk and everything is configured and connected, it gets quicker, but yeah. That's it for you, the working system with the tower. What you say?